All right, going live now. Ooh, exciting. Okay, we're good to go. Hello, hello, hello.
Hey.
Everyone for joining us on Wind Down Wednesday.
Hey, everyone.
I'm excited.
Fall is here.
Yeah, but unfortunately, like it wasn't fall-like weather because I'm not a fan of fall. I like early fall I can deal with, but I just know like what is coming later that is really bothersome to me. Like I'm a summer baby. I love it hot, but it is what it is.
I know. No, I know. I'm a spring baby, so I get it. And I actually like fall. And like you said, I like this early fall where people make, what's also referred to when it's really nice weather, Indian summer. I love that. It's when it's 30 degrees and it's still September. That is a problem. And that happens when, Chicago. That's a lot of things happen in Chicago, and that is one of them. But Will, tell us a little bit about your trip.
So
and welcome back.
It's good to be here. I got married for the second time, but it was to the same woman. So
that's good.
So that was good. We had a COVID wedding last August with just our parents, and then we had a wedding with family and friends this past August, and did like a renewal. Unfortunately, we still couldn't have our full guest list because we were worried about COVID, so we still cut the guest list down. But it was nice to be with people, see family and friends, dance. It was a good time. And then we went to Europe. We were in Spain. We went to Barcelona and Lisbon, Portugal. So both were great. We both liked Portugal a lot better. It just felt like a little more culture. Right. I saw Black people. I didn't see any Black people really in Barcelona. So that was very different, but it was good. It was just nice to be out of the country.
Okay, good. And I guess we shouldn't be, I guess it shouldn't really be surprising too to see a lot of Black people in Portugal, considering that Portuguese is the official language in Brazil, and outside of like Nigeria, there are more Black people in Brazil. So I guess like a lot of people, they will, they go to, like other Black people in diaspora, they'll go to, I guess, the home country, so to speak, the country that colonized them, often to look for opportunities or just to visit because language and other stuff. But that's cool, Will. I'm a little envious,
It was interesting though, seeing like the COVID regulations there. It was like similar to the US where you got to wear your mask to go. Like once you go into a restaurant, then once you sit down, you don't have to wear a mask anymore. So that was just like same as here. We had to take a whole bunch of, when we flew to Lisbon, we had to take a COVID test. It had to be within 48 hours of your travel. Then we spent a few days there, then went to Barcelona. And then before we went to Barcelona, we had to take a COVID test. And then we flew back to Lisbon, fly back to Chicago. We had to take another COVID test for that. So it was a lot of COVID tests. But I was negative the whole way through. We were both negative. So we're healthy, and we were looking forward to our next trip because it was hard, like during the pandemic, not being able to go anywhere.
I know. Like I went to New York and I was like, an airplane. Okay, yes, I miss going places. It really hit me. I was, I was at Midway, and I was like, that's my phone. I was in Midway, and I was like, when I got to the airport, I was like, oh my gosh, I actually miss this. I miss traveling. So, let's see if I'll get anywhere beyond the 12 months. People like yourself, my sister and her husband, they were down in Mexico. You know what? I've been, man, look, Comcast, my wife.
You need that sponsor, so what's happening?
Like,
we need your Wi-Fi budget on point before your travel budget.
I know, hey, don't blame me, blame my provider. My stuff is paid up. It's good. I'm just not sure what's my internet's been acting really weird like the past couple of days. Like at night it gets weird, and then I'll go to sleep and I'll wake up and then everything's fine, which I guess is great because I need that for work. So there you go. Priorities.
That's the main thing. So
Yeah.
In terms of Will, like now that you're back home, have you seen any of the well? Tell me about that your T-shirt actually. Chicago needs local news. Is that it?
Yeah, it was a gift. So I'm wearing it. Yeah, local news is important. I'm a local news reporter, so I thought like I should rock this for our show tonight. To me, it's like a perfect wind down outfit.
Yes, you know what? You must find out where they got that from, because I'm about to bite your style. Because I too am a local news reporter and a local, reporting local journalism. So I would like one as well. So if you can find out, Will, I would appreciate it.
I will get back to you. Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna have to send Will a reminder next week. Hey, what about that shirt?
Right when we get off, finish this, I'll send it to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Such a sweetheart.
So, Will, can you then tell us like what it's like to be home now and see some of the local news? Like, have you seen what happened with the Chicago Bears?
I just got out of prison.
Well, I mean,
right.
I worded that a little bad at the time, even though it was like a few seconds ago.
You just talking about like the news? Like, I know you wanted to talk about the Bears, like the Arlington Heights.
Yeah.
The Arlington Heights Bears.
God.
Do you like that?
I'm for it actually. So, but Aisha, yeah, because have you been to Soldier Field? It's kind of terrible.
I was at Soldier Field for a Chicago Fire game this past weekend, but I've never been to a Bears game. I just like I like how the Soldier Field looks.
I like it from historical, angle. Driving down like DuSable, like, I like, because I like older architecture and all of that. But when I'm watching like football games, I'm looking at like what's SoFi, the Rams, LA Rams new stadium, and that looks like every time we're watching a game, we're like, whoa, look at that stadium. That looks like a spaceship. That looks really cool. And then I'm always thinking, why didn't the Bears, when they remodeled Soldier Field like in the early 2000s, why didn't they add a covering? And I think it had to do with it being a historical landmark or something to that effect. But if they move to Arlington Heights, have fun going down 88 and dealing with all that traffic. 290 to 88, have fun at it, because I'm assuming that's the way I would go to Arlington Heights. That just seems like a even bigger headache, as far as commuting to a game than going to Soldier Field, where you can take the L, or you can take the Metro or drive or whatever have you, or the bus.
So Lee, why do you support the move? I'm just curious.
Well, to be honest, like it's just the traffic. Really, it's the traffic first, and then following that up was just I want a nice luxury space to go to a game. Plus, I think it's really important to really highlight that the Bears could be an indoor / a dome team, and that will be both awesome for visitors as well as my pockets, because who wants to actually sit outside in 15-degree weather watching the Bears? Now, I'm a winter baby, since we're talking about winter and summer and spring babies. I'm a winter baby, so it doesn't bother me, but no one I know wants to actually go to a game with it being cold outside, especially in like November, December.
Yeah, some people, it's just like, it's part of it. And it's like what they love about it, just being out in the cold, being out in the elements, watching the game. I don't like cold weather, so I couldn't imagine sitting out there. Like, I'm all for a dome, but I will have to say I have not been to one Bears game since I've been here. So that's the problem. I've been here 6.5 years.
Well, I mean, the product on the field isn't the best right now, so you may want to hold off.
Yeah. But he, people say he's not to blame. I mean, the rookie.
You mean Justin Fields?
Yeah.
He's not to blame. It's just Bears going Bear.
Yeah, that's true.
But to me, like it's kind of like a smooth segue into branding and marketing. We're joined by a fantastic guest.
Yeah, he's not.
I think it's like, wait, are you still there, Aisha?
Yeah, Aisha is frozen. We just gonna have to let her catch up. She's gonna come back.
Are you there?
Now she's on mute. She's been winding down before we started.
Apparently, yeah, me and my cat were throwing them back.
It was wind down afternoon for you. All right, you're good to go. Now we see you.
Okay.
Well, with that in mind, I just wanted to like highlight that we're also being joined by this evening by one Miss Rachael Turner. She is a fantastic owner. She's a speaker, and she does a little bit of everything to all Chicagoland. So thank you so much for joining us, Rachael. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me. I'm good. How are you? How's everyone?
We're good.
Hey,
We're good. I like your background.
Oh, thank you. It's temporary wallpaper. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've been like, I actually did a reel on Instagram about it, but it's pretty cool to just kind of switch up the background, make you look a little fancy on camera. So
yeah, you came.
I like it.
Thanks.
All right, pulling it together. So, Rachael, can you tell us a little bit about your background, especially with Rosemint Media, and what your latest news is?
Okay, so I am from South Suburbs of Chicago. I guess I'll start there. I went to UI in Champaign. I started off in business, was in corporate for 7 years. Oh wait, ILL. Did you went to U of I too?
No, I said you're from the South Suburbs. I grew up in the city in the South Suburbs.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool.
Is that like University of Illinois thing?
I got all excited. I got too excited. Okay. So I was in corporate for about 7 years. And then I went into entrepreneurship part-time. About half my time was spent running my events company, which was Rosemint Events. And then I was also a business manager for a nonprofit. I also did a few other like finance related things until 2017. I went full-time doing Rosemint Media. So started off events, but from doing marketing for that business and helping other people with their marketing after they saw how I was, being visible and getting clients, I decided to totally pivot into marketing full time. Have not looked back. So, I mean, it's right now, you said new news too. I have another brand, Radiant Thorns. I actually just put out a product that I had designed and manufactured. It's called an Essentials Keeper. Shameless plug, if that's okay. All of your chargers, your devices. It can hold some notebooks. It's a pocket back here for an iPad, or if you want to put your boarding pass or whatever back there. So that's I just released it September 23rd. So that's like my exciting thing.
Okay.
So what is it called?
An Essentials Keeper, like a trapper keeper.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that available?
Where can we order it?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Will.
Actually, so you can go to essentialskeeper.com. It's on my brand Radiant Thorns. So if you go to radiantthorns.com too, it's there. But I actually made the domain and linked it to the specific page on my website for this.
Fantastic.
That's cool.
Good.
Okay. So one of the hopes we wanted to sort of bring you in to talk about is branding. I know you're a brand specialist, and we really want to know, how is it that a journalist or aspiring content creator or anyone within sort of this media field that we're all in can brand themselves, especially as they're starting out for the first time?
So the great thing about branding is that it's an opportunity to kind of paint the picture of how you want people to perceive you. So of course you don't have total control over that, but if you know your goals, if you know where you're trying to go, you know what your values are, you kind of take all of that into an account and basically determine how you want to be presented to the world. I know a lot of people have issues or have struggles with coming up with that, but one thing that a business coach told me that it will really help you to determine what your personal brand is. Think about the 5 defining moments of your life. Like actually take some time, figure that out, and think about, okay, how did this change me? What lessons did I learn? What thing do I stand on now as a result of this thing this unique thing that happened to me? And that could really help you to see like keywords and key values of what your personal brand is.
Some good advice.
You have me thinking here. So, like, what is your brand? Like how would you just define, describe your brand?
So Rosemint Media is a digital marketing agency that helps social entrepreneurs to increase brand visibility and also increase profits in their business. Keyword for me, which actually, even though I've been in business for a while, it took some time to discover that my clients are socialpreneurs. That's the person I love to work with, who has the business, but also cares about the community and also cares, a lot of my clients have a nonprofit along with their business. And sometimes you don't get those key like focus points of your brand until you've been doing it for a while. So I got there by doing the work, and then I looked back and said, okay, so what client relationships are going great? What type of clients do I want more of? And that kind of helped to define what words I use to describe my brand.
Wow, that is deep. So you have me thinking about like what is my brand, and like what happened to me when. So like, do you have any examples of like something that could be something that's life defining? Are we talking about like, does it have to be, is it good things or bad things? Like, somebody stole my lunch money. I mean, that didn't happen, but I'm just saying, would that be an example?
Yes, anything significant that when you look back, like near-death experiences are always something like super impactful to our life. Something that caused you to either completely stop doing a certain thing or to start doing a new thing that you never thought you would do. Those type of moments are also good to reflect on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any advice for people who may have traumatic experiences, maybe more than one, that's in our top 5 things that define their lives, and how, they can, embrace it, or just pick the positive, out of it, or whatever, the silver lining for this type of exercise?
Okay, so slight tangent, because when you say like traumatic experience, or like a trauma, I think it's important to define, sometimes our response to a trauma is out of survival and not necessarily who we really are at our core. So it's very important to do that inner work and like get clear about, okay, who am I? Of course, that's, way easier said than done, but I know specifically like coming from off of a trauma, like it can turn us into someone that we're not. So I think it's important to first take that time and definitely go within. If you need therapy, do that. But specifically for traumas, just to be careful that you're not defining yourself based on something that happened to you specifically versus something that pulls something out of you, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when we're talking about branding and what happened to us in the past, are we separating professional brand versus personal brand, or they're the same? You can't have one without the other.
I think so. They're different, but they all come out of you. So I feel like your personal brand is very you focused, you as a person, you as an individual. But then when you're talking about like a brand, say if it's for a specific product or a specific service, that's way more specific, way more dependent upon the audience that you're trying to attract. So it just, personal brand is all you, and then depending on, if you have a product, if you have a service, there's going to be a lot more overlap versus if you're branding for a product. But then also, people love to know who is the person behind the brand as well. So, you have to take that into consideration. But it really just depends. And that's the thing, you have to consider your specific unique value that you bring, whether it's the service or the product, or you as your personal brand, and just really go within. I keep saying that just because I feel like social media, we'll see people doing a certain thing or a certain brand, like, oh, I like that. Let me go research and see what my brand should be. Like, no, just, it's all in you. It's all in you.
So should you start then with like a website or social media? Should you just start with Twitter? What are the stepping stones for that?
I think definitely have a website. One thing I always tell my clients when we first start working together, even if, say they have a business name, buyyourname.com. You should own your domain of your name. You really don't know where that's going to go. And you can use that if you do build a personal brand website, that helps you to show up higher in Google searches. And it helps you to also be able to control a bit more of the first thing people see when they look for you online, if you actually have a website with your name. So definitely have a website. I think when it comes to social media, it's important to start with the path of least resistance. Start with the platform that you feel most comfortable. Oh, I got Twitter down packed, I can do Twitter. Start there, but then you also want to take into consideration where are the people you're trying to reach. So you want to go there too. And I have to say, LinkedIn, everybody should be on LinkedIn right now. That's the one platform I would say, like, you gotta get on LinkedIn. Period.
So that's the thing about LinkedIn. I just realized I've been on LinkedIn for a long time, for over a decade. And
are we connected on LinkedIn?
You and I?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'll look afterwards.
Okay. No, but the thing about LinkedIn I've noticed is that it's become like Facebook. Like I'm just like, what is this? You know, like people are sharing, it's almost like everyone, wherever they go, like they go to Nextdoor, LinkedIn, wherever they go, whatever social media platform, it's like they make it like Facebook. And so I've seen people kind of complain a little bit about that. It's kind of got out of the realm of being like professional oriented and more like, you know, which is great. You know, my kid turned 10, you know, and yay, which is cool, but that's more of a Facebook, maybe, you know, even Twitter or IG, but not necessarily LinkedIn, because this is a professional networking platform. So that's just something I text my sisters. I'm like, when did this happen? You know?
Right. No, that is definitely there. And I agree that to get the most out of it, you should post on what makes sense for the platform. Like just making one piece of content and then sharing the same thing on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere. Like that's not the best strategy to do. And just how you said, people are starting to complain. So do you want to take that chance of posting about, oh, my baby did this, and then a potential client coming to your page on LinkedIn expecting a certain type of content, and you're talking about, you know, other things, you know, you just really got to be strategic. Different people have different, you know, strategies about LinkedIn, but I think it's important to use the platform how it's supposed to be, or what intended for use, or how people expect it to be used.
So do you mind quickly give an example? So you said you pointed out that LinkedIn, say we'll use the big three: LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Oh, well, that's not the big. Wait, LinkedIn. No, it's actually IG, Facebook. So the big four: IG, Facebook, LinkedIn. IG, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. How should they be? How should people approach when it comes to like branding and sharing things on those sites? How would you recommend people, you know, approach it, since you said that they have to be approached differently?
So LinkedIn, definitely a little bit more professional. You want to talk about your wins. Easy type of post to do if you find an article that's really intriguing to you. Share the article, but give like your 2 short paragraph opinion about it. So like you're sharing your expertise about this article, and then it's almost being backed up by this article. Like it just kind of gives that impression. So any type of wins, sharing articles, sharing your journey, but like from an angle where you're speaking to people that are where you are professionally versus speaking to people who, you know, may not, like, just for example, if I made a post about my entrepreneurial journey and some obstacles I faced through scaling, and I wrote it as if this is a hot mess, like no. So, you know, just being careful with your wording. For Instagram, definitely got to do reels. Instagram favors reels content, and you don't necessarily have to do like, you know, the dances and things like that, but even just posting a reel of you speaking or doing something helps with the algorithm on Instagram. Let's see, Facebook, and I'm sorry, back to Instagram real quick. Instagram favors when people stay on the post longer. So sometimes you want to switch it up and do like a longer caption, because then people are going to stay on there longer to read the caption. So with LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, you want to give a little bit more personal. So you always kind of want to sound like a person, not necessarily speaking as a business. And it's okay to share family stuff. People want to feel like they know you. A lot of people you're friends with on Facebook do know you. So it's okay to be more personal. And then with Twitter, really frequency is important on Twitter, because Twitter content lives the shortest out of all of the platforms. So if Twitter is a place where you want to put your focus, you want to make sure you're doing really at least 10 tweets a day would be good, but you got to keep them coming because the content does not live long there.
Okay. Now we have, that is something to keep in mind too. Because even with those, because some people I think, and maybe I'm projecting, maybe some people are, that's really me. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I need a break from all of this, but aside from like doing the social media stuff I have to do at work, and then feeling a little more private about my life, it just feels like, you're exposing so much of yourself, opening up and getting a little personal. I will admit that earlier, with Facebook, I did post more, but I've pretty much shut it down. I'm not as open as I used to be, for, valid reasons and everything. Now, we have an audience question. What advice would you give journalists who are working for publications, other outlets, but also building their personal brands as content creators and writers?
I think a great thing to do is BTS behind the scenes. As long as you're not violating any type of company policies or anything like that, like give a behind the scenes day in a life type post of the things that you're doing. So basically people will associate you as the content creator or the writer, even though you're still working for someone else. Another good thing to do is to give advice type posts, like to people who are up and coming writers or up and coming content creators. A lot of times I think people feel like, oh, I do the same thing every day, this is just what I do, but to someone else it's going to be intriguing, and to someone who's in a totally different field it's going to be interesting. So just go all in, show your equipment. If you're a writer, show this is where I love to write, this is my favorite coffee shop, different things. But then always kind of bring it back to the thing that you want people to remember you for. That's the key. You can really post about whatever you want, but you always want to tie in that key word or that service or whatever it is that you want people to, when they think about it, they think about you.
It's interesting because what advice would you give to people who they want to post certain things, but it doesn't get any engagement, but they post something else that gets a lot of engagement? Because as a reporter, I share my stories a lot and they rarely get any engagement. I posted my wife's cat, our cat now, for the first time, and it got like 230 likes. Cat is not my brand, but it was like the cat on my shoulder, but it got all this engagement. So like, how do you balance that?
So you got to keep posting. Just for an example, like flyers, or like when someone introduces, hey, here's an event, join me at this event. Those always get the lowest engagement, but it's still someone who needs to see that. That's still like an important piece of what you do, like just how you mentioned with your work. That's an important piece of what you do. That's how you want people to know you, so you still need to post that. But what you can do is kind of get a little creative, like pull the cat in sometimes in the picture, while you're working, since people love the cat, and then they'll come for the cat, but they'll remember you for your work. So you don't have to like make it a big stretch, because people can also tell when you're being inauthentic. But okay, they love the cat, all right, well, we're gonna do a post about the cat on Thursdays. Just make it work for you.
I like this. I'm gonna get my cat. I'm gonna spank you. We're going on the road. we are taking our show on the road, girl.
And you see some people who are, selling their bodies, people who are shirtless and revealing clothing, and those people get a lot of followers.
They get a lot of followers. Oh, go ahead.
That's it. So I'm just like, should we go that route? I mean, should I be shirtless on Instagram?
Got a little shoulder showing. I'm doing that.
The shoulder action.
We're gonna get these views on here.
I mean, it's all about what feels right to you, because that's another important part to remember about social media too. Like, it's never a good idea to do something you don't really want to do just because you're going to get likes. You want to be true to yourself, because the thing is, if you start taking your shirt off, they're going to want to see that every day. So are you really going to take your shirt off every day? And those people who are getting those likes, that doesn't always mean conversions. So, they're posting their body or posting their shirt off, but okay, are they going to their store and buying their product? Are they booking them for services? Who knows? So, likes, to me, like even with my clients, like likes are awesome. Shares, more awesome. Conversions, then I'm gonna get excited. So yeah, just something to keep in mind.
That makes me think of Black Friday. So should people then be planning to have all their wares and all their services and the website and the brand together for this upcoming Black Friday, or is there other key days to be aware of?
Definitely for Black Friday, because statistics still show it is the biggest shopping day of the year. I actually am working on a post now, like I put a bunch of statistics basically about Black Friday and why you still need to care. And especially because we still are in COVID, there is what's called revenge spending. So because people have been in the house, people aren't able to just go shop as freely maybe as they normally would. When it's sales or like a big holiday, a big day like Black Friday, or holidays coming up, people are ready to spend. People are also caring more about family and friends. So, people are thinking more about gifts. Maybe I can't go visit my family, so I want to make sure I get them an awesome gift this year. You definitely want to have your website together, even have a couple friends test it out, make sure it's user friendly. You want to make sure that you have great photos. You also want to make sure you have inventory. That's one thing when it comes to Black Friday. If you're promoting a sale, whether it's on a service or a product, can you really handle it if 5,000 people book their service? That would be awesome. But what do you need to do to get ready for those people who, for that number of people who may be booking your service or buying your product? Are you really ready for that? So get that together first. And then definitely you want to start thinking about your marketing plan early. If you got to hire somebody to make graphics for you, if you need to learn a little bit more about ads, like whatever you need to do so you can be ready. You don't want to wait till the last minute because everyone is promoting and trying to get in on Black Friday. So you got to give yourself an advantage. Start early, make a checklist. What do I need to do? What systems do I really need? Who do I need to hire? And get that together so you're ready.
When you said that, it reminded me of sometimes like when Oprah had her show and when she would promote a product or, a brand on her show, and then people would get inundated with just, calls and orders and everything. And it was one thing I remember a lot of them saying they just weren't ready for that. They didn't have the supply, for that. So it just reminded me of that when you said that. We have a question, an audience question that refers back to what we spoke about earlier about using if an event is a traumatic event that shaped you. And the question is, how does the experiences, I guess, of a traumatic event relate to their brand? Can you give us an example of what you used if a traumatic event, I guess, was part of that, something that shaped you?
Let me think of a traumatic event I want to share.
I know, girl, I'm sorry. And the question is great question. It's a good question. I just know that it may be a little, I don't want to bring up something that, you may not be ready to share. If the question is a valid question.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just trying. So one thing that happened to me, when I had my daughter, I have a 3-year-old. She just turned 3, September 3rd. Pregnancy was like no issues. My labor was a lot. I'll spare the details. And then I actually ended up going into the ER after I was home for about a week and had to stay in the hospital basically another week due to some complications from labor and delivery. Right. And I just had it brought out like a different type of fighter in me. I had 2 blood clots in my lung and had to get on blood thinners. And at one point, like I had to give myself blood thinner shots. And it just, I had some moments with God during that time. And it just really helped me to look at life in a totally different way. And that how important it is just to be connected and to be grounded. And that we have so much power inside of us, more than we know. And that's why, like earlier, when I just kept saying, you have it's within you. But I truly believe that it really is. And a lot of times we don't even know all the things that lie within us until something happens to pull it out of us. So for me, that was a traumatic event that really made me realize like my life was really in the balance, but I was fighting and I was not gonna lose by any means necessary. So I reflect on that moment a lot too, to put me through, during, hard moments of entrepreneurship and things like that. But as a brand, you can see I preach about, all I talk about, go within, it's within you. So that's like a part of my message that I always say.
That's powerful. I mean, that's truly powerful. And it reminds me of, speaking of Oprah, just the reminders that sometimes she used to give on her show. But it is truth. It's gospel. I mean, I believe that we came truly equipped with everything that we need. And so it's just a matter of realizing that. So often we are taught to look with the outside. And I know that, speaking of trauma and things that shaped you, that was a long lesson that I learned, especially when I was in undergrad and being around people, places, and things that did not want me to see that. And, being challenged about that and almost giving up. And so that's something I have to really, even now, constantly remind myself that what you said, it is within, and we really do have that power to direct our lives more than we give ourselves credit for.
Absolutely.
This is powerful, and just to think about, your authenticity right in that moment, and you fueled authenticity in Aisha, and it's just like speaking to me. And I guess that really represents the power of like knowing your brand and then sharing that with you, because it has impact when it's authentic. Because I felt what you just said. It like hit me, and I don't know anything about child delivery labor and all that stuff, and I don't want to know.
Well, not yet, Bill. Yeah. You are newlywed. It's coming.
Yeah. But I'm not doing the delivery.
But you'll be there. You will be there. You better be there. Yeah. No.
Well, before we let you go, Rachael, I'm sorry, Aisha, were you going to say something?
No, no, I was going to say probably what you were about to say.
Well, please go ahead.
No, I was going to say before, Rachel, I just wanted to know if you have 3 top tips, that takeaways for our listeners and our viewers.
Yes. So number 1 would be to produce more than you consume, especially as it relates to social media, especially if you are trying to build a brand or you're an entrepreneur. It's so easy to get caught up in the scroll, but just remember, like, okay, am I consuming more content? Am I consuming more on what's on TV than what I'm actually producing? Meaning it's okay to do those things, but just always make sure you're producing more than what you're taking in. Let me see. Another thing would be to charge a price. A lot of times when you're just starting off in business, whether, you could be a contractor or whatever type of service provider, or even with a product, sometimes we feel like we have to come in cheap, or sometimes you do have to do those things for a lower amount to start off, to get the experience, to get the reviews. But you really have to think, is this sustainable for my life? Am I going to be struggling and trying to take on all this extra stuff, and it's killing my creativity and killing my energy? You really just have to stand by your price and make sure that you're producing a quality service or product, or providing quality service, so you can feel good about your price. And then number 3, something I'm still trying to wrap my head around, just as it comes like to wealth mindset. Having wealth does not mean you have to work hard all of the time. Yes, there are times when you do have to work hard, but there are other ways for money to come in our accounts, and other ways to, grow your investments and things like that. It doesn't have to be totally off hard work and sweat all of the time.
Okay. The first tip, the consuming. So does that mean instead of sitting around watching Real Housewives of Potomac and American Horror Stories and, other things, that time should possibly be spent working on your own product? Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah. So watch 1 episode, maybe 2.
Okay. 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 Okay.
So how can we connect with Rosemint Media? I'm sorry, Aisha.
I know. So because listen to her. I know. And those are the 3 times I'm getting these ideas too, because I'm thinking also about, any advice for journalists who are looking to switch from, getting off that plantation and becoming more entrepreneurial. Any advice or suggestions on how to do that seamlessly? Because if you're working 40 hours a week, you can feel tired, trying to start your own entrepreneur pursuit. So any advice on how to balance that and, to start off while you're working full time before heading off to do something else, do your own thing?
You have to be super disciplined with your schedule. So that's one thing. Like, if this is my goal, to get away from, my 9-to-5 job and to switch to entrepreneurship, or, just being working for yourself, it is so important to have that discipline, and just remind yourself it's temporary. Like, okay, I'm doing 40 hours here, but then every day for 2 hours, I have to do this. Then I can call my friends, then I can do this and I can do that. You just have to be so disciplined and don't give yourself any other options until you check that box of the work that you need to do for yourself, because that is the biggest investment you can make, and that's going to get you to your goal faster. Another thing you can do is, we build your brand on social media, of course, start planting that seed. So once you're ready for people to start hiring, you're already front of mind. Once you actually do decide to leap, tell everyone. Now, I'm not a huge believer in telling everyone, oh, I'm working on this great thing and it's not done yet. And I know, some people do that, but once you're there, tell everyone, because you never know who's going to be able to connect you to this person, or so-and-so was just waiting for you to become available so that they can hire you. So you definitely want to make sure that you announce it, maybe send it to your email list if you don't want to post it on social media, but just make sure the professional people you're connected to, or people who may be interested in hiring you, all know, because I can pretty much guarantee there'll be at least a few people who can connect you to someone who will hire you and give you some of that income rolling in.
Okay. Thank you. All this great advice.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Lee.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Okay, well, I was going to also say congrats to Evan Moore. He is NABJ Chicago's VP of Print. He announced, I think this week is his last week at the Chicago Sun-Times.
Yes.
He's very much well-respected sports reporter. He is crossing over to the dark side. He is going to, but we support that with him. He is crossing over to the dark side. He is going to be doing, I think, PR for the Chicago public school system. Is that correct?
Yes.
Which, given everything that's happening with CPS this week, good luck, Evan. Good luck with all of that. But no, congratulations. Evan is a really cool guy. He has this great book about hockey, which we had him on the show. That's out now. We had him on the show a couple of months ago talking about that. So it's out now. Pardon me for not immediately remembering the name of the book, but I don't know I don't have it available, but if you just go to Amazon and type in Evan, I think it's Evan F. Moore, it will come up. But check out the book, because when he explained it on our show, it sounded very, very interesting. So definitely check that out. And trailblazing Chicago Defender journalist Ethel Payne, widely known as the First Lady of the Black Press. She passed away 30 years ago in 1991. Her headstone remains unmarked in Glenwood, Illinois. So I'm just asking NABJ Chicago family to please consider donating to the effort to get this legend, this NABJ legend, just not NABJ Chicago, but NABJ legend, a headstone, a new headstone, because she does not have one. So I think that's house cleaner stuff. Am I missing anything else? Let me see.
The book is called Evan's book, Game Misconduct, Hockey's Toxic Culture. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Yeah, so Game Misconduct, Hockey's Toxic Culture, and How to Fix It.
Right. It really sounded interesting when he was on our show and he explained it. So, definitely check it out and support this brother. And I'm happy for him. His new, life is about journeys, as we were discussing. So I'm happy for Evan and for all of us in our journeys.
Yeah, before Lee wraps this up, I just want to thank you, Rachel. This was powerful. This really spoke to me. You left me with some nuggets that I'm going to be reflecting on tonight after I eat dinner.
Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. I'm glad.
And how can we follow you on social media? What's your handles?
So Rosemint Media is Rosemint Media. Same thing for the website, www.rosemintmedia.com. Facebook and Instagram is pretty much where you'll find content for Rosemint Media. I also have a personal page, Rachael Nicole Turner. If you want to follow it, I also do abstract painting. So if you want to see some art and me doing some regular stuff, you can follow me there too.
Will t-shirts be available there as well?
On the way.
Okay.
Oh, I love it.
I'll say this is available at Radiant Thorns. But if you follow my personal page, and that just one last thing. I have my business pages separate just for Facebook ads purposes, but so I can clearly define my audiences there. But on my personal page, I share everything. So you can find everything on my personal page here and there.
So you dropped gems because another question came. You mentioned your shirt. I'm like, at what stage should people start considering merchandise for their brand? At what stage should they consider that?
If you're doing drop shipping, or if drop shipping is a consideration now. I say that because drop shipping is free. Companies like Printify.com, Printful.com, Society6.com, Redbow, it's a ton of them. Drop shipping, all you have to do, as long as you have a design or like a PNG file of what you want to put on the shirt, your logo, whatever, you can upload it and make it available right away, and there is no cost to do that. So really, you know, I think you should, I don't want to say, you should have it, because who knows who will see it, even if you're not promoting it, because it's free. I mean, there's no cost.
All right, now that's outstanding. Thank you so much again for everything. And just one last event to highlight. Tomorrow, DePaul NABJ, as well as NABJ Chicago chapter, is hosting an in-person event, Racial Bias in the Media. It's an honest conversation with newsroom decision makers. That event is taking place tomorrow from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Lewis Center at DePaul University's downtown campus, 25 East Jackson, on room 104.
And it's virtual. You can also, we're doing it also virtually too. So if you're unable to make it, you can watch it online. You do not want to miss it. As I said during our last show, I'm on the events committee helping to put this on, and we have some heavy hitters there. So please, you know, if you can't make it downtown, check it out online.
If you do make it online, mask and proof of vaccination are required. So just keep that like in the front of your mind. But outstanding, yeah.
Don't try to bring fake cards.
Look, we just had a bust at O'Hare. I think another 41 cards they confiscated, so please do not. And if you look, and if you don't spell Moderna with an A, M-A, like the girl did in Hawaii. At least Google to make sure you have the name spelled correctly.
I know that's right. All right.
Come on.
Well, for Aisha, Will, and Rachel, thank you all so much for joining us for this edition of Wind Down on Wednesday. We look forward to seeing you both tomorrow's event at DePaul and next month as well. So stay tuned and have a great night.
Thank you. Thanks, Rachel. Goodbye, everyone.
Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.